EMP for mining industry. Before going to discuss about the EMP, that is Environment Management Plan, especially for mining industry, we need to understand what is the EIA. As you know, EIA is of course used. It is one requirement to be studied for various environmental parameters. Starts from physical, biological, and social culture. So in this EIA study helped to take decisions that the project activity to be happen or not on the basis of environmental parameter scenario. So this EIA notification in India has come in 1994 under EPA Act 1996, and principal notification has been released on 2006 September 2006. Up to this date, we are following EIA notification 2006 only. But there was one amendment, principal amendment in 2020. So that EIA 2020, that is draft EIA. So here you can see on the screen what activities like under mining industry, mining of minerals. Two type of minerals are there: major mineral and minor minerals. So this mining of minerals, it have two major activity for classification under EI notification 2006. This schedule number 1A, and these are there are two category A and category B, and category B reclassified into category B1 and B2. This is specially for mining, construction, and thermal power. And now some other categories are also there. We'll discuss later on in some other sessions. But for EIA, as per 2006, there is limit of 50 hectare area. If you are going to mine, your lease area, a mine lease area less than 50 hectare, then you have to apply under B1 category. And if you're more than 50 hectare are equals to the 50 hectare of mine lease area, then you have to apply under category A. What is the meaning of category A, category B? Category A means the EC will be accorded from central authority, that is MFCC, New Delhi, Zorbag, Indira Parvat Bhavan. And category B means the EC will be accorded from the state authority only. SIA is the state authority. This was as per EIA notification 2006. And for asbestos mining, so here no lease area for classification, means you can go for 1 ton, 1 hectare area, 3 hectare, 5 hectare, 100 hectare. For asbestos, all asbestos mining area are falls under category A only. And in case of B1, B2, means if you are having less than 5 hectare, that is under B2 category. If you are making in the cluster situation, 5 hectare, 5 hectare within 500-meter radius, and there is cluster situation, then this goes to category B1. As per EI notification, some amendments are there up to 2016. So you can see here 7 amendments have been done from 2006 to 16, that is in 10 year. So up to 10 year, you can see some exemptions are there, some category under some special categorizations are there, and one more addition of schedule under 1A was second, that is slurry pipeline, that is of coal, lignite, other ores passing through national park, sanctuary, coral reef, or any ecological sensitive area. The same one is like asbestos. All asbestos mining area are under category A. For the coal, in respect of coal mining, that is more than 150 hectare, and for other non-coal mining area is 50 hectare. And in case of B1 category, for coal mining is one less than 150 hectare equal to 150 hectare, or in case of other minor mineral, this is less than 50 hectare. General condition is applicable, and here you can see B2 category was introduced. So B2 category was for up to 25 hectare of mine lease area are not in cluster. If it is in cluster, then again it goes to B1 category. And mineral prospecting is exempted if of course this is also under mining of mineral, but it is not actual mining from the earth or something. So this is mineral prospecting is exempted for environment clearance. And means if mining of minor minerals including cluster situation, some other forms like appendix 11 is has been given under EI notification should be filled. And also some notification like if your mining is before 2006, before 2006 means under EI notification to the 1994, so it is not required a fresh application. These some notifications which and amendments from 2007 to 2016, which is mentioned here under EI notification 2020, which is in draft stage. But for mining, this is applicable because in 2020 EI notification has been amended for from 50 hectare to 100 hectare. So now the limit of mining of minor mineral and mining of major mineral. So here you can see from 5 hectare, less than 5 hectare is B2, more than 5 hectare up to 100 hectare is B1, and more than 100 hectare is category A. And in case of dump mining is category B2, and more than 100 hectare of major mineral like coal is etc. means including coal is category B1, and more than 100 hectare is category A. So here one major difference is equals. Here you can see in the category A, if you are having 50 hectare area, then it is not under category B1, it is directly to category A. But here you can see it is equals or less than 100 hectare. So equals means if you are having 100 hectare, then category B1 only, not category A. If you are 1 hectare area of mine lease, then it goes to category A, right? So here is the EC process. Will not discuss in detail because this is the part of another sessions. But you need to understand we have to apply for TAR, then we have to go for EIA study, EIA preparation is to be done, then public consultation is required, and after public consultation we have to submit our plan EIA in form 2 basis. This goes for appraisal and grant for EC. This is the time bound action for all category A project as per the government provision. So it is depending on the situations like during corona pandemic it is not applicable. So that somehow it is having about 120 days, or simply we can say up to 4 to 6 months is required to clear one project. So about the mining, because so we are here for discussing about the effective environmental management plan. So we need to understand what is mining, what type of attribute to cover. We'll not discuss about the impact. We'll discuss about the plan only, right? So this mining influences the quality and quantity of water of that area also. How we'll see some later stages. And this mining company have long been conscious of the importance of water management. So this of course till now even some time of water intersection with the groundwater table etc. So still we are facing environmental problem. Not only water, the fugitive emission is also a major issue. Due to transportation, due to loading, unloading, noise, traffic impact, these are the major impact due to the mining activity. So we have to prepare a plan, a mining closure plan, mining plan, EMP to remediate, to negate those environmental impacts in that vicinity. Mining extraction means including coal, as we seen in the previous slide that major minerals, minor minerals, coal, etc. Petroleum gas, quarrying. These are things which comes under mining. So some environmental problem due to the mining activity are natural, natural land degradation, air pollution, water pollution with the heavy metals, with the organic and inorganic waste. So due to the negative impact on terrestrial aquatic ecosystem, and also this impact to the human health, to the socio-economic culture of that area. Sometimes this means mine overburden to be discharged, or so we can say dumped in some area, open area. So this again create a nuisance in that area. Acid raise is another problem of the from the mines, that is known as AMD. So for EMP, what is basis of EMP? Base sorry, basis of EMP is, first we need to identify what type of activities to be done, then we have to provide what type of impact to be happen, then what are mitigation plans, what are mitigation measures to be done to carry out to negate the environmental impact, and for those mitigation measures what are the plans. So EMP is basis on the mitigation measures, what type of mitigation measures to take to negate the negative impact, to convert into the positive impact due to the mining activity, due to the quarrying, due to petroleum gas exploration, or anything. So major things. First, we need to describe the activity, which type of activity, like blasting is required, only manual mining is required, or semi-mechanized, or fully mechanized, underground mining, open cast mining. So we have to describe what type of steps are there, then what type of receiving environment is there in the vicinity within 10-kilometer radius. Then we have to carry out the risk assessment to identify environmental issues on the flora and fauna, also on the biodiversity. It is included socioeconomic and air, water, soil, noise, etc. Then identify the strategy to remediate. And on that basis, whatever the remediation plans are there, we have to provide the effective EMP. So, major objective of first of EMP is to place the mining activity in the context of local regional environment, adequately describe all the environmental components or all the components of mining activity, so that authority can consider approval of well-defined mine plan and also for mining closure plan, and identify the environmental issues as we have discussed in the previous slide are risk associated with the mining activity, provide the basis of proponents environment management program, which shows the environmental impact resulting from the mining activity including cumulative impact, and that can be acceptably managed. And also we have to provide a proof evidence that clearly said that mining activities should be judged by the authority, it is environmentally acceptable, environmentally sound. So how we have to prepare? We can prepare in two way. But one is the specific, another is generic. What specific? Specific requires justification and objective of mining activity, legal framework like environmental approval, decision making authority, some other agency, third party agencies are there, consideration of alternative options. So these include description of component of mining activity, including nature of and extent of proposed or current work. If because project can be in two type of, one is the existing, another one is under expansion, or we can say the proposed one, the new one, greenfield or brownfield. So we have to understand the elements, like here you can see one example. First we need to understand about the life of project, and mining plan is to be prepared for 5 years only. If your lease is 30 years, 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, so mining plan will be running. So we need to understand how much area is to be under question for the mining, say 10 hectare, 5 hectare, whatever. Then you have to go for any subsurface developments are there. So you can means one hydrologist can check any bore wells are there or deck wells are there. Water table depth is there, like here you can say take example of one is the 50 meter below the ground surface BCL. And if any area of disturbance including access, so you have to define how much area out of 10 hectare, that is 5 hectare is area of disturbance. Like here we need to take the minerals. Then we need to identify that operating hours, like 8 to 5 Monday to Friday, or 8:30 to 5:30, whatever you can specify for working hour. And visiting hours you can define like 3 to 5, 5 to something like that. Then major components, so for components mining plan will be there, how the activity should be done, how much geological reserves is there, how much yearly exploration will be there. solid waste in term of overburden, and where we need to take this overburden, and water requirement, source, daily requirement, hourly requirement for like dewatering, or for the domestic, for dust separation, for green belt development, etc. And also number of trucks are required for parking, for adequate parking also be provided. So these things, these are the attributes we need to identify first, we need to understand. And uh, we need to prepare some maps, location map, to show the progressive stage of development of the unit area, admin area, or some area for waste dumping area, dam area, water storage area, or any type of if fuel is there, then fuel storage area should be located in the map. And a separate entry exit should be there, loading area, unloading area should be there. So we have to provide this type of one plan, that is. And also we should provide logistics and training to the employee, timing and staging of the project, ownership and liability for the waste during the transport, disposal, operation, etc. of the that mining activity. And this EMP should focus on some relevant environmental factor, which to be affected by the mining activity. Like here you can see one example. Like one activity is driving company vehicle. If company vehicle is there, trucks are there. So truck, what they are using? They are using fossil fuels, right? So what this is the interaction, right? So we can say this is the cause. One factor, major factor, because number of trucks are required. Huge number of tractors are the trucks are required to transport your mineral from one place to from mine to another end user or some storage area. So what change to be done in the environment? What effect to be done? So one is major one is depletion of non-renewable resources. That is the change in environment. And then what we can reduce the usage of vehicle for short distance. This is one example, but you cannot reduce the trucks for mineral, but you can reduce the usage of a company vehicle for short term distances from one corner to another corner. Or you can deploy some other mechanical methods to transport mineral from one place to another place in the mining premises only, in the mining area, mining lease area. Here you can see one example of EMP. We have to first we need to identify the factor, what is the objective, then what are the requirement plans. Like in case of soil, noise, water, ground, surface water, air management, something. So under this noise, what are the objective? First, need to protect from the vibration, from the blasting, from the noise, etc. within the premises, workers, laborers, flora and fauna. So how we can identify? We can do this. First, is identify the sources of noise, of vibration, and if we have to identify, we have already identified the sources of noise and vibration, then ensure that noise and vibration level meet acceptable standard. How we can reduce, how we can meet the level, standard level 75 dB. So for that purpose, we need a plan. Now means after identification, we need a plan. How to reduce, how to meet the vibration level, how to meet the noise level, how to meet the surface water criteria, how to deal with that, how to reuse or recycle of that water in the mining activity, mining premises, or how to deal with the wastewater in the premises, how to deal with the physical emission in the loading area, during the blasting. So controlled wet blasting will be there. Controlled wet blasting is required to control the physical emission from the process, from the activity. And for the noise, if due to the blasting, due to some other area activity, the noise is there, then you can enclose that area. In case of underground, of course this cannot affect on the surface. If but you have to choose your blasting material and quantity in that manner that will not affect or vibration will not go beyond 90 meters or something as per DGMS. So we need to follow. So this is one example. We need to identify the factor: air, water, soil, noise, or other like socioeconomic, hydrology of that area, ecological biodiversity, that is biodiversity, important factor, waste management, contaminated land. If we are depending on the groundwater, so you can also take example that how we can reduce the groundwater usage. Some waste are there, hazardous waste like used oil is there from the trucks or machineries, diesel operated machinery. Then you can quantify and then you can recycle that. For recycling, you need to plan. You need a plan. So EMP structure in case for mining activity, two active major activities. One is the operation phase. Sometime some pre-operational activities are required, like clearing the vegetation, making the what we can say admin building, etc. But it is not compulsory for all. Like in case of sand mining, river sand mining, there is nothing require any type of clearing or something. You need to go for operation phase directly. But in case of coal mining or some other machinery mining, some area is to be required for storage, or some admin building is required. So in that case, construction phase is there. Otherwise, for every mining activity, construction phase is not there. But generally, one operation phase is there, and post operational, that is post mine closure. We can say mine closure plan. So EMP should be framed for operation as well as mine closure also, right? So we need to identify the factors. We need to prepare the checklist, and this checklist help proponent provide necessary information to ensure a timely assessment processes are mining activity, limestone mining, sand mining, river sand mining, machineries mining, stone mining, boulder mining, coal mining, any asbestos, zinc, any type of metal, ore, alumina, anything. So these one example here is there, that is checklist. What are the issues, and it is applicable, not applicable, or yes. So one means this checklist should be prepared by the proponent or by the consultant. This should be discussed with the proponent in presence of some consultant who has some experience of the mining. Then they have to apply or not apply. Like you can see here by reading, have you described the mining development in full, included plans showing the location in the mining development and surrounding environment? Yes or no? If yes, that means you are going in the right way. If it is not, then you have to look into another way, and you have to describe description of activity, this ownership detail, or any bushland area, wetland area, waterways, migratory stations, migratory corridors, etc. Competitive user for groundwater. So we need to just think about, this is one checklist to prepare EMP. In case of physical environment like air, fugitive dust, odor, noise, surface water, groundwater. So you have to address in your environmental impact, because as I said, EMP is based on the impact factors and mitigation plan. If your mitigation measures has been justified, if mitigation measures are good enough, then your EMP will be effective. Otherwise, EMP will not be effective. So these are a long list. You have to go for water usage, solid liquid waste. Specific waste will be there. Sometime if it is not applicable, then you have to cross it. Hazardous waste, resource storage, pest control, household chemical, compressed liquid gas are discharged to the land, discharged to surface water, discharged to groundwater. And also for on-site uses like irrigation, laundry, swimming pool, cleaning, drinking, etc. are some information like operating hours, time scale for completion of construction works, planned activity, risk assessment, environmental protection measures, and also company contact detail for 24-hour emergency phone number has been provided. So this is the simple checklist. First, you need to address all these things under your mitigation measures, because on the basis of mitigation measures only you have to provide a EMP. And for EMP, as I said, sometime pre-construction is required, sometime construction phase, sometime is not construction, only operation and post-operation. So it depends, means what type of activity you have. So in case of pre-construction, like in case of oil and exploration mining activity, or some other type of mining activity, then pre-construction is required. For construction like coal mining, so construction for of vegetation clearing is required. Admin building, bunkers, coal bunkers, etc. are required. Loading area, unloading area, parking area is required. So this is construction area. But in case of river mining, sand mining, construction phase is not there. Sometimes they need some one type of for royalty paying or something, or for entry exit point. So they made one provision for one admin building, something small building, or some checkpoints. Otherwise it is not required. They go for operation phase. But in case of mining, post mining plan, or we can say post operational plans are required. That is known as mine closure plan. So before going to start the EMP, first we need to understand what data sets are required. As we have already shown the checklist. So from section B, whatever we have got to identify the triggering specific mitigation measures are required. Then we have to go for potential impact list. That is significant. That should be significant. We have already discussed in some other sessions for impact assessment what are the significant, what are non-significant. So as per that list, we have to provide the potential impact list. These are the significant area. Then as per the significant area, we have to provide the mitigation measure and monitoring plan. In chapter 6, if you're aware about EIA EIA structure, general structure of EIA, then chapter 6 is about monitoring plan. You have to prepare the monitoring plan for environmental monitoring, exactly we can say. And here you can see this is one type of cycle mining, for mining, generalized cycle of mining activity. First is the pre-construction, that is known as exploration, resource development and design. Then go for mining activity, like mineral processing or refining or mining, etc. If mining is there, then you have to go for shipping or transportation of product. If there are rehabilitation or resettlement is required, then you have to go for R&R. And after completion of your mining lease period, post mining closure plan is required. And after, even after mining closure, you have to monitor the baseline as per the EIA or environmental clearance conditions we have to do. So here you can see in case of management plan, first we have to, we means after in the operation phase, we have to monitor, we have to audit ourselves as a company, and we have to review whatever the condition we have accorded from the ministry. And here you can see we have provided one link. From this link, immediately you can go to the web portal, and you can access some details of EIA and form 2. Means for preparing EMP, because EMP is a part of EIA. So for EIA you have to go to the portal, and I think here it is, like after clicking the link you can go to the directly portal. This is a EC report. Under EC report you can see here it is EC report. So under EC report all the details are available, and here you can see this is the mining area, and EIA EMP risk assessment public hearing, and it was public hearing was done on 12th March 2016. So all the detail, and this is the detail of consultant, and this lease owner is Gopal Prasad. So all the details are available online. So no need to worry about anything. Everything is available online nowadays. Some samples we have provided for we can say what for EMP, like for B2, for A category, for B category, everything we have provided. The link is there with you. You can just click on this link, you will go to the all the EIA forms. Here you can see first this is the EC report. Here is the EMP for B2 category. You can see on this screen, follow my cursor. So in this one, generic what we can say, generic EMP has been provided as per the requirement, and also means noise level in the mining area, mining activity is required to meet the level of 85 dB as per DGMS. So they have provided, and source of water they are using groundwater, and this solid waste management, green belt development plan, these are number of trees to be planted, and monitoring program to be provided, and the budget for EMP 95 lakh something, it is the one. And another one is EI EMP. It is under category what, B1 category, right? Okay. So B1 category, say one area is 5.52 hectare only, means more than 5 hectare, right? So for B2 category is less than 5. How much page number is, page number you can see 171, right? So we need to go to 171. This is EMP, right? So under this is for B1 category. Again, some consultant are providing very generic EMP, but EMP is required, of course. So this is environmental management plan. So you cannot consider chapter 9 because chapter 9 is not as per the generic structure of EIA. We'll see in the another EIA. This is for B1 EMP for B1 category, and here one category A project, right? And under category A, how much page number is this? Page number 166. So under 166, I will go to directly 166 page number, right? This is chapter 6. Chapter 6 is about monitoring, and chapter 7 is about public hearing and risk assessment, additional studies. You can see here public hearing advertisement, Lok Sunwai Bihar Rajya Pradusan and the Parsad Patna, and this is public hearing photographs. Here I am providing the presentation before the committee member, before the public. This is the public during the public hearing, and these are the question responses. And for EMP, we'll go to the chapter 10. So here it is chapter 10 about EMP for category A project, and here you can see 400 hectare, more than 400 hectares area for Balu Ghat, means sand balu. Balu sand means two type of sand is there, brown sand and the white sand. So this is again EMP for category A project, land use pattern, control dust emission, fugitive emission, plantation, green belt development, socioeconomic, occupational health, EMP budget, and budget for occupational health, and budget for EMP 28 lakh rupees. RNR is there, separate corpus fund as there about 15 lakh, because 2% now it is not required, but at the time of VI submission of this, because this was in 2015, so here you can see so this was submitted in 2015. 2% of contract money is required under corpus fund for RNR. However, it is applicable or not. And another one is for the same category. It is 5 to 12 B1 category, right? So here you can see chapter 10 is about EMP, right? So this is generic structure which we are following. This was prepared under the guidance. So here I have also worked for this EIA also. So here you can see one, how many page numbers are there? Page number is on 121. So on 121, this is chapter 5, 121 CBA, and this is environmental management plan. So by this is again the same type of EMP, cost and all, and summary. Then summary conclusion. This is end. Right. So in this way, we have to provide the EMP in EIA reports. Right. So before going to EIA, prepare EMP, we have to fix our checklist. We have to fix the data. We have to fix the potential impact and mitigation plan with monitoring plan. And after that, we have to go for EMP. So some issues we need to address here. Some issues like exploration. During exploration, erosion for temporary road. So what type of actions should be there? Initial baseline monitoring program should be there. Like we have to provide weather station, etc. Resource development and design, like developing water management plan, preparing EIA, or water quality within the area, air quality within the area, soil quality, noise quality, etc. Mining, minerals, and processing refining activity. So at that stage, we can go for discharge management, acid rock drainage, tailing management, overburden management. In case of rehabilitation or resettlement plan, so in case of R&R, the separate activities that SIA is required, and post operational, that is post mining or closure plan. So we have to consider all the possible future impact, either in case of acid rock drainage or something. We have to prepare the plan for all these things. And shipping of like transportation. So during transportation, possible spills will be there, dust fugitive emission will be there, traffic congestion will be on the road. So this type of activity we have to identify. In case of water requirement from the for mining, so you can see water is required for blending, treating, or for drinking, for dust suppression, etc. And how we can manage? We can manage in either way for by establishing the relationship or reuse in the premises for dust separation for greenbelt development. Either we have to go for the STP or ETP as per the requirement. So here you can see hydrological component in the mining area. So first info, we have to understand the water table of that area, and surface water bodies are there in nearby area if they are, because due to the evaporation. So evaporation, natural evaporation will be there, and catchment area. So in this area means of that area or mining area, we have to understand about the hydrological status and water table. And every mining, because in the rainy season or monsoon season, so water will be there sometime. If it is related nearby the coastal area, your mining is mining lease area is nearby the coastal area, then creek line, new creek line construction should be there. And some, if you are having means mining area not in the coastal area, then garland drain is required along the boundary. This type of garland drain is required, it is must to provide the garland drain for drainage this storm water. And for EIA, we need to understand what type of means major impact. If you understand the generic structure, so chapter 3 is about description of the environment. Chapter 4 is about the mitigation and anticipate impact and mitigation. Chapter 6 is about the monitoring. So these chapters are required to understand first 3 and also 2, because mining activity is described in chapter 2. So chapter 2, 3, 4 and 6 are required to understand to prepare your EMP. Here you can see some examples are impact of mining activity. So this is the close bund, means this is the siltation actually due to the mine runoff. This not only alter the water quality but also fills the river with the silt and water flow. There you can see the changes in channage water flow. And here again, the turbidity of this water due to runoff from the mines, that can change the water quality. And many, not the one example, many examples are there. Bhadra River, here you can see Bhadra River, two photographs have been provided. Uh, this one is taken in 2002 and another taken in 2010, because Supreme Court of India has stopped mining in that area nearby the Bhadra River. During the mining, this type of water is coming from that area, and after stopping the mining activity, the water quality you can see, you can, it means different. Many examples are there on what alter the water quality. This picture taken from the Goa Kusumati River, due to the large scale silt from the mine, and means some two talukas are there, Sangwem and Quipem. So these taluka having different type of mining, and also you can see this type of, means some tribals are also working in the mining area. And what condition has not been changed for those forest dwellers are what we can say the tribals, say tribals in the who are working in the mining area. So first we need to understand, because for EMP, effective EMP, we have to understand the activities. Different activities are there, and we need to understand the environment, because land disturbance is also due to the mining activity, exploration to the extraction, and then to the transportation. And this type of activity accelerate erosion from hilltop to the mine. And also mining activity and transportation will impact on the biodiversity and habitat loss. And mining activity can change the hydrology and can also go for water pollution. So dust, of course, dust emission, fugitive noise, water pollution, public health, these are the major concern area. So you can take example of this is the masonry stone, and this is the sand mining. This is again one sand mining, mechanized, semi mechanized and mechanized. Moram, another some examples from the Bihar area. This is manual mining, means only from the river they are just filling, means loading into the trucks. Here you can see the boulders, and this is one open cast mining. This is the limestone mining using surface miners. This is again manual mining from the river bed. This is illegal mining. One example of illegal mining. And this can be a very dangerous type of situation. This is coal mining and underground coal mining. This is again example of underground. This is two pictures for coal mining, underground coal mining, and these are the masonry stone mining. This is limestone mining. Here you can see after mining the this has been created a mine pit where the means we can say the water has been accumulated during the rain. This picture from the Karnataka, so you can see here manual mining is there, but who are working, even the children below 18 years are also working in that area in the mining, but the condition has not been improved. And here you can see river siltation due to the mining. And for activity to means to be considered to be regulated by NGT and by the state commission, etc., but illegal mining cannot be stopped yet. And here you can see different type of, this is lignite mining, this is again lignite coal mining in Jharkhand, and some means many issues due to the mining have been raised. This is one picture from Alwar area, means Bharatpur area, for masonry stone. You can see this is our picture is taken from Google Earth image, and these are the real pictures from the Bharatpur area. This type of actual real pictures are there. These are the real pictures of masonry stone, and these are means 3D structure we have to plot, and we have to present in the mining plans. These some pictures from the vicinity, from the 10-kilometer radius in the study area we have to take, we have to survey. And here you can see again the boulder mining is there. This is open cast ground surface only. And this map represent the habitat mapping. And here you can see this is the current scenario of that area. Then we have to plot your, these are different maps for the you can see this picture shows from the Munger sand mining, and these the highlighted in the red color, these are the river from where we need to take mineral. And another one mining from the Ganga river, this is the Ganga river. And this is again the same one from the Munger. There's a drainage map. This is the road map for sand transportation, means after means taking, this is from Nevada, Bihar, Jai Mata Di Enterprises, what from for which we have already seen the EIA. This map superimposed on Google Earth. You can see this is a major river, and some tributaries are there from where they need to take the what we can say the river sand. And these are the pictures, real pictures from that those area. And this is Yamuna river again in Saharanpur and Yamunanagar. This like this river sand mining means for river bed we need one lessee need to extract this river bed. This picture for masonry stone, this you can see this is one very hilly terrain for masonry stone in Rajasthan, and this is from Haryana, Mandargarh. This is for boulder mining. This picture, this map exactly FCC map, false color composite map, and this is the reference map and you can see this shows the river, and here two mines are there, lease area of 1 and 2. And this is the actual study area map, drainage map, lease area. And this way we have to present the location map. Like first we need to present in India map, then we have to provide the state map, district map, and then location, exact location on topo sheet. And this is the location of one from Bharatpur masonry stone area, about 71 hectare, more than 50 hectare. So at that time it was in category A. As of now it should go to category B. Some pictures from this is from Chirkunda in this Ranchi, nearby Ranchi. These are real picture from the river, and this is Moram from the river. Means this is again riverbed mining. Yamuna river of the for the sand mining. Different terrestrial habitat for the study area. We have to take survey for different attributes: non-agriculture area, agriculture area, stone mining, and also if any religious place, like you can see here, Brachorasi Kos Yatra within study area, then we have to focus on that. For socioeconomic and agriculture area, we have to provide the habitat map. And in case of river, if we are going for river, then we have to provide this type of water table map. Like here you can see this is the water table at this level, 5 to 10 meters there. So when we are going for upstream, so upstream is having 266, in downstream it has 258. But in case of they are taking 3 meter, because as per the DGMS only 3 meter riverbed mining is required. And for the ground, suppose if we are going for ground, then here it is 9 meter is applicable, but do not intersect the water table. Here in both cases you can see the water table is not touched either type of riverbed level or on the ground. For in case of EMP, because I said water can be used from the surface, from the ground, or sometimes we can go for saline brackish water, but it is not, it is rarely utilized. So in case of surface water, as such, if any area is available in the surface, you are going to use surface, then you have to provide. If it is not available, if you're not going to use surface water, then there is no requirement of surface water management. If you are going to use groundwater, and you should not go to the intersect the ground table. That means you should not disturb the water, groundwater environment. Natural pit should be there. If then you have to provide necessary precaution and boundary for rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting practice should be done, and it should not lead to groundwater recharge. Natural groundwater recharge should be there, but it's not contaminate the groundwater with the acid drainage mines. And if there is any wastewater, then you have to treat at site, either in form of STP, ETP, whatever is required. This mining activity have potential to substantially impact on the hydrology also. And this operation can be adopted during the operation phase on the basis of physical, chemical, biological, and social impacts. Whatever in case of social, physical, air, water, soil, noises. In case of biological, the biodiversity, in terms of flora and fauna, and for social, like human or census of demography of that area is required. So reporting of any type of industry like mining, in case of mining industry, use of water, use of any other natural resources, use of any other type of fuel, fossil fuels or any LPG, etc. For any purpose, we have to report. We have to make plan to reduce the use of water, to reduce the use of natural, other natural resources, and also effort to more systematically compile and analyze that data, whatever we have collected from chapter 3, 2, 3, and 4, to improve the understanding, to make effective plan to remediate. So for this data compilation, first establish a database structure in a systematic way. Then we have to test the database structure through a compilation at initial database set, then analyze the compiled data to understand the trend in the industry, like using some software, as in case of other industry like GLC is there. In this case, vibration study is required. So for vibration, we will discuss in the later stage for how we can accumulate, how we can assessment of how we can assess the vibration from the mines, and then provide the recommendations. How we can go for mining is water requirement can be for dust separation, for washing, for domestic, for plantation, in case of simple riverbed mining. But in case of some other like in case of coal mining, the coal washing is required sometime in coal washeries, or some for mineral beneficiation, dewatering is required. Then you can provide the same way. So you can assess like water is what is the source of water, like aquifers or some surface water, sea water, etc., river, creek, some external storage by the tankers or from the municipal area for treated water is required. So you have to make sources, make arrangement of sources. If you are going for withdrawal of water from the ground, then CGW application is permission is required for the withdrawal of that amount of water. Then you have to go for the same provision. For vibration, the baseline data should be collected for the vibration. Then we have to understand how much intensity of that vibration, potential magnitude of that vibration in the mining. So here you can see we need to understand for cutting blasting in the large diameter deep hole mining technology. Because in the blasting we need to make a drill to put the blasting material, right? So for blasting material, deep holes, using drill, we need to, here you can see examples of deep holes. These are the deep hole about radius of 57 centimeter, so sorry, 7 millimeter or 15 millimeter, as per the requirement of your blasting material, or we can say the craters are required. So in different manner these type of holes to be, and why this is water is there, because wet drilling is required, so that your physical emission should be avoided. So water is required during the drilling. So charging structure by cutting blasting, because the most commonly used explosive in the mining, it is ammonium nitrate. This is so known as ammonium nitrate fuel oil, ANFO. So this is ammonium nitrate mixed with the fuel, and it is very cheap and easy to manufacture, transport, and store it in the mining area. So how much means how we can calculate the volume of material to be blasted. So that can be depending on the rock volume formula. What is the rock volume formula? So volume can be calculated using the formula of burden dimension into spacing dimension into hole depth minus subdrill length divided by total divided by 27. So where hole depth is equal to means hole depth minus subdrill depth equal to actually bench height. What is the bench height? So you can directly multiply by burden dimension into spacing dimension into bench height. Divide total divided by 27. That can be rock volume formula. This is known as rock volume formula. And for here you can see one example for a resultant height of water in feet is required to during the drilling. So you can calculate by using this formula also. So calculation of water from the mining, like for domestic usage as per the manpower, as per NBC, as per CPH, EEO, a maximum is 45 liters per capita. And water for visitor in the offices, average is 8 liters per capita. For greenwell development or group plantation or avenue plantation, maximum is 4 liter. Otherwise, you can take as per the requirements, as per the site condition, 1 liter to 4 liter. For dust separation is are wetting the roads during the mineral processing in and around conveyors and roads, unpaved area. So this can be taken 1 liter per square meter. For drilling, rotary cable electro direction wet blasting, some water is required, as we have seen here. You can also resultant height of water in feet you can utilize, you can calculate by using this formula. This is depending on the bench height. Mineral prospecting ore wash is required, then again water is required. For truck washing, vehicle washing, maximum water is 80 liters per truck and 40 liter for small vehicle other than the trucks. And for fire water one time requirement, you can calculate it is requirement of as per DGMS, but one time requirement for underground water. Transport of ore and waste in the slurry suspension as per your mine plan you can take. Separation of mineral through the chemical process, this is also as per the mine plan. Physical separation of materials such as centrifugal separation, this is also again as per the mine plan only. Cooling system, if it is available in the for power generation, then you can refer your mine plan. Washing, dewatering, etc., it is as per the mine plan only. For the drilling and blasting, you can see, because depending on the drilling area, hammer range, so hammer range from 50, 70, 200, different range are there, so different water is required. Like in case of 50 W50 is about 180 to 1 liter per minute is required. In case of a hammer range of W200, 470 to, or we can say zero point 0.5 kiloliter per minute is required. And here you can see one example for water requirement other than building, like factories, including canteen, then to domestic and flushing, that is total 45 as we have seen in the previous slide. Okay. And for factory including canteen, where no bathrooms are there, so 20 plus 10, 30. Hospital where number of bed not exceeding 100, then 230. If exceeding 100, then 300. And OPD, if OPD is there, then 10. So in that case of only OPD, then 15. And some other then you have to calculate as per the requirement. Total water requirement is for 100 bed 340 liters per bed per day, and in case of more than 100, the 440 liters per bed per day. And if OPD is also there, then 15 liter per day per capita you have to calculate. Then total water requirement for hospital can be there. For hot hotels, nurses, etc. But in case this you can take for mining, factory including, this is as per CPHEO. So for domestic water, we need to treat the water at the site. We need to install PTP, primary treatment plants, or ETP for effluent. But for domestic water, STP is required. PTP is primary treatment, and the CTP is individual effluent treatment plant. So in case of mine closure, during mining closure, leftover ore piles are rinsed, tailing ponds are drained and capped. Remaining contaminated material should be removed and stabilized. And continuous monitoring is also a part of most closure plans. Most mines also stress below the water table, so mines are dewatered by pumping out the aquifer during and after mine operation. So once operation stop, mining operation stop, then cessation of pumping results in flooding of open pits and underground space as the water table rises again. So we need to take measures during the continued pumping and treatment after operation is considered. For stormwater calculation in the mining area, so for stormwater the formula is CIA by 360, where C is the coefficient of runoff, Q is the quantity of stormwater in cubic per second, and I is the intensity of rainfall in millimeter per hour, where A is drainage area in hectare. When you are calculating by hectare, then you can use this formula, otherwise you cannot use. So considering runoff, we can take one example how to calculate exactly. So, considering runoff coefficient zero point 0.6 for one road like asphalt road, or some inferior of stones, a brick road, or black pavement with the open joint. So in that case, I is 3 millimeter. Suppose we can take example of 30 millimeter per hour. Area is 2.49. So we have to put 0.6 into 30 into 2.49 divided by 360. This is the quantity of storm water in cubic meter per second. That is 0.12 cubic meter per second. So another example, like how we calculate the effluent for mining operation of 25 hectare. considering 50 manpowers are there and 25 number of trucks are there, and there are number of 8 cars are there, a visitors are 8, length of unpaved road is 1.5, open area they have 2.6 hectare, and green belt area is 5.5 hectare. So you have to calculate what is the effluent to be generated or domestic wastewater to be generated from this mining of 25 hectare. We have already given all the requirement. You can take example, take water requirement from this, and from the drilling, for all these requirement we have already given here. So you have to calculate and you have to reply on WhatsApp or one on the email or from the website of account services. Some conservation practices should be adopted and should be provided in our EMP. And also the part of means rainwater recharging is also a part of EMP. We have to calculate how much water is available for rainwater recharging. Two things are there: one is the rainwater harvesting, another is the rainwater recharging. Harvesting means you have to collect rainwater at some place in the premises. Recharging means you have to go directly, means your rainwater should be collected at some place directly to recharge to the groundwater by percolating wells, and per number of percolating wells are required at per 4,000 square meter, or we can say per acre if it is in open area. So you have to provide one percolating well as per acre. So here you can see example, means some examples of pre-treatment ETP STP in mining area. The like collection tanks are there, some small collection tanks. You have to regularly monitor the water quality of treated water. Some pre-treatments are there required. For first one is the equalization required, then flow measurement is also required to put the flow meter at that area. You can see the dewatering of from mining, dewatering system is there. Equalization can be accomplished by storing excess water during the high flow period and excess wastewater to be released during the low flow period. And pumping is required sometime to lift the water to a higher elevation than the discharge point of the main trunk sewer line. And after pumping, the plant is designed to operate under gravity flow to point of discharge at the receiving. And here you can see screw pumps, bar screen, sometimes mechanical bar screens are there. Sometimes grid chamber we are using for the ETP, circular primary sedimentation tanks we are using in industry, and as well as you can use if there is oil and grease from the truck washing or vehicle washing or some machinery washing, JCB, etc., then oil skimmer is also required to put. And this is a primary sedimentation tank where scum skimmer is there, and sludge scrapper should be there to remove the sludge by the scrappers. This is a design of primary clarifier. We can also calculate the sludge quantity by the relationship of this formula, where all the things as v is the sludge volume, s is the specific gravity of sludge, w is the dry weight of the solid, and gamma is specific weight of water. And here you can see some example of already means ready to use treatment systems are there, like mixing DAF, pre-treatment flotation, sludge dewatering, and plate lamella, plate clarifier, DAF system. Here you can see this is the DAF system, dissolved oxidation, and here you can see this is the one flow chart of this DAF system, dissolved air flotation, ETP. And this is the flow diagram of STP, means raw sewage to be passed through bar screen, then it should be goes through the oil and grease trap, then goes to the receiving sump, and after the sump this should go to the FAR, means fluidized aerobic bed reactor or something. Plate settling tanks are there, tertiary treatment, UV treatment, or ACF PCF you can go. This is the schematic diagram of STP. Septic tanks. If sometime STP is not required for small volume of wastewater like 1 KL or something, then you can propose a septic tank solid soft pit in the mining area. So here you can see one example of STP. This STP is soil base, soil biotechnology based actually. Soil biotechnology means SBT based as a STP, and this disadvantage is it require a huge land, but advantage is there is no water ordination, there is no any other issue. You can see one cannot exactly tell is this STP. Of course this is STP, and after treated water it can be reused in green belt or plantation irrigation, etc. This has been already installed in New Delhi, Lodi Garden. 12 STP has been installed on the basis of SBT based, soil biotechnology based. Focus area of EMP is first is mine water management, dewatering, pit slope pressurization, mine pumping services, and in situ mining, HAPE lease monitoring, mine site closure, and remediation, plantation, and risk and assessment, OHS we can say. So some negative impact can vary from one side to another side, and depending on the mining activity. So sedimentation can be caused by poorly built road, and water pollution from the mining waste rock and tailings may need to be managed. So improper management of mine waste are because during the mining activity, occupation health and safety is also required. Ore is mineralized rock which contain the metal like gold or copper or anything like aluminum or iron or something, and some other minerals like coal, etc. They are also known as a mineral. Open pit mining involves the excavation of large quantity of waste rock in order to extract the desired mineral ore. So the ore is crushed into the finely ground tailing for processing or mineral beneficiation. One another area of this what we can say mining is acid mine drainage. Acid rock drainage or acid mine drainage is a natural process whereby sulfuric acid can be produced when sulfides in the rock are exposed to air and water. So AMD is essentially the same process greatly magnified, and when large quantity of rock containing sulfide mineral are excavated from the open pit are opened up in the underground mine, this react with the water and oxygen to create sulfuric acid, H2SO4. When the water reacted with a certain level of acidity reaches to this level of acidity, naturally occurring type of bacteria like Thiophilus ferroxidans, they may kick in and accelerating the oxidation acidification process. This can accelerate leaching. So this acid will leach from the rock as long as its source rock is exposed to air and sometimes into the water also. So until the sulfide are leached out, the process that can last means that can last up to the hundreds and thousand years. It cannot be eliminated in some time or 1 year to 3 years. So we have to avoid. We have to study in the exploration only. We have to provide the exploration plan in our EIA in separate EMP, that how to avoid the acid rock drainage. If there is a acid rock drainage, then we have to provide certain level of boundary or enclosures. AMD severely degrade the water quality also, and also they can kill the aquatic life. And this is also means because there is sulfuric acid, this is very dangerous. And in the watershed, this can also make a nuisance to the public stakeholder also. For to deal with the AMD, the government must prevent future loss of aquatic habitat to the AMD, inventory and clean up existing acid generating mine site, improve the public access to the information on monitoring and enforcement of AMD treatment and reclamation, and also prevent future AMD by improving environmental risk assessment, adopting a liability prevention approach to the future AMD mines. Sometimes heavy metal contamination is there. So for heavy metal pollution to be caused by any metal like arsenic, cobalt, copper, cadmium, lead, silver, zinc, or anything, or any heavy metal contained in the rock or in the mine pit exposed to an underground mine come into contact with the water. So metal are leached out and carried to the groundwater or into the downstream. So metal can become mobile in neutral pH condition, leaching particularly accelerated in low pH condition, and sometimes it can be created by EMD, acid mine drainage. Sometimes kind of pollution like chemical pollution occurs when chemical agents like cyanide, sulfuric acid by the AMD can be, or sometimes a spill, leak, a leaching from the mine site into the nearby water bodies or something. So chemical pollution can be lead. So we have to avoid all those things. First, we need to understand what type of activity, what type of geological area, what type of geological reserve, and if there is chance of any AMD or any type of any other chemicals, then we have to avoid those area for excavation. Mineral development disturb the soil, also disturb the rock in the course of constructing and maintaining a road, open pits, waste impoundments. In the absence of adequate prevention and control strategy, erosion of exposed earth may carry substantial amount of sediment into the water body, into the streams, nearby area, and also this can harm to the biodiversity. Excessive sediment can clog the riverbed, as we have seen in the previous slides. So heavy metal are naturally constituents from the earth crust, and these pollution can be caused by exposed to the water something. So we have to take care of that. Weathering is it can be means done by heaped waste material or from the release of toxic chemicals. Such harmful chemical released from the mine tailing like mercury, arsenic, lead, cadmium, etc. So it has been suggested. It should be suggested that having metal pollution problem in the world cannot be regulated by one. It should be regulated by everyone, every mine area, and we have to prepare means this type of plan, environmental management plan for weathering to avoid the weathering from the heaped waste, from the dumped area, from the mining activity, from any area. So it has been repeated, I think. So soil erosion and sediment transport, it depend on the climatic condition, it depend on the soil and soil erosivity, overland slope, ground cover, soil conservation, and catchment area. In case of open cast mining, this can be having several factors to consider like topsoil stockpile, spoil pile, waste dump, dumping area, bare topsoil area, steep outslopes, ramps, haul road, unpaved area. So these like scalping, blasting, metal handling, transportation, these type of major activity can generate the major impact, and for runoff potential from these areas should be reduced by infiltration, by providing the colloidal particles, by providing regular water sprinkling in that area where the fused emission is there, and mine can contaminate the soil in the large area, so soil quality can also degrade, the fertility index can also be degraded. So mining operation routinely modify surrounding landscape by exposing the undisturbed area, and spills or leaks of hazardous material and the deposition of contaminated wind blown dust can lead to the soil contamination. So to avoid the soil contamination, first we need to avoid the fused emission. We have to avoid the contaminated soil resulting from the wind blown dust, and also soil contaminated from the chemical spill and residue. Fused dust can be avoided by the regular water sprinkling. Inherent toxicity of the dust depend on the proximity of environmental receptor. High level of arsenic, lead, or any other type of radionuclides in windblown dust usually pose the greatest risk. So, soil contaminated from the chemical spill or residue at the mine site may pose a direct contact risk when these metals are misused. And also mining activity will impact on the public health. As per WHO, health as a state of complete physical and mental and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So for workers in the work zone, for the mine workers or laborers, it should be for their medical health checkup, routine medical health checkup should be there, and they should not be exposed for a longer period of noise, a high noise level. So utilization of water in the mining area is very, of course, very precarious. Mining activity will almost always have an impact. Mining industry must encourage adopting good practices. There is one term, ecological backlash. Backlash is unexpected and detrimental consequences of an environmental modification, like some time of dam construction, etc., which may outweigh the gain anticipated from the modification scheme. So this consists of human activity that contribute continuous deterioration of the environment. And in this way, everything on the earth is somehow connected to everything else. What one does affect the another directly or indirectly. So whatever we are going giving to the nature, nature we will give us. In case of coal mining associated with the damage to the natural landscape and rise and fall of the mining community which grew up around the mine site, the nature coal mining involves significant but temporary intrusion into the land above and around the coal seams and along the chain of transportation. However, an appropriate environmental impact assessment and responsible working practices can minimize the impact due to the mining. Here you can see ecological boomag is the same one, ecological backlash. Some good practices are there, like resource conservation management by scientific way, with the minimum waste dumping area, finding the substitute of the mineral widely used at the present, proper recycling of used metal is required, adaptation of environmentally friendly technologies are required, EFT, that is known as efficient and use of energy, efficient use of energy is required. Afforestation, mangrove plantation, group plantation or avenue plantation is required to conserve and preservation of biological diversity of that area. Government should also look into that, and also should not permit mining operation in ecological sensitive area. And if lessee or miners should follow the acts, rules, regulation made by the ministry to comply the natural conditions to restore the environmental conditions. Some nature-based solutions like mining activity should stop, should opt nature-based solutions, should opt the good practices, should opt the zero-waste policy, and under the follow 5R system, they should install the on-site weather station for forecasting of weather, etc. At the site, they should develop the green belt development, or avenue plantation, or afforestation, or social forestry, etc. They should also means select the plant species as per the soil condition, as per the natural condition of that area. Like they should also plant gulmohar, currant, banana, mango, date plum. Some fruit species also should be planted in the nearby area. So, being some biodiversity, some type of animals should be there. Bougainvillea, Caner, or marigold, etc. These are required in the periphery of the lawn colony area or residential area. This type of, you can see this is the green belt plantation by these premises, and this is the regular water sprinkling. This is the good practice under EMP, environmental management plan, for on the haul road or unpaved area to regular to provide the regular water sprinkling to avoid the fugitive dust emission. Sometimes noise, if high noise area is there, then type of noise barrier to be utilized to suck the noise within the premises. Then occupational health and safety is required, EMC is required, emergency control room is required, safety training should be given to the all the workers, safety signs and alarm systems should be provided, fire hydrant system where is applicable is should be provided, mock drill should be given to the employees or workers. Fire squad team should be employed with the emergency situation to handle with. First aid facility and training should be provided to the all the workers. Personal protective equipment is required to work for the workers, like in the mining area, underground mining area, something. Regular health checkups are required for all the employee, all the workers, and safety record, health and safety records should be maintained by the proponent. And this is one example of means health and safety, like referred by HR to OH in absence of more than 15 days. Then this operation occupation health safety officer will go to the take appointments with the HR and managers. Then every proponent or investor or miners, they should opt a corporate environmental policy for better education, for better healthcare, road infrastructure, drinking water facility. These are the basic requirement under environmental policy. And another major point in the EMP is corporate environmental responsibility as per 1st May 2018 OM of MFCC. But now, important is to put the milestone, not a budget, but the part of CER should be part of EMP as per 20 September 2020. So in the OM of September 2020, that said that cost is not required as per the slot, but milestone are required. If public hearing is there, then you have to provide a separate cost as per the provision. And here you can see the structure of EMC. EMC is environmental management cell. This is the again part of EMP. You have to provide the EMC for non-compliances, for deal with all the environmental issues, and also role and responsibility of EMC should be there. It should be specified under chapter 10 of EMP of EIA. So what are the role and responsibility? Major duties and responsibilities of EMC are to implement the EMP first, to assure the regulatory compliances with the compliances of SPCB, CPCB, MFCC. And also if STP or ETP is there, then they have to treat the sewage or wastewater to ensure the regular operation and maintenance of DE sets, machinery or surface miners, etc. To minimize the environmental impact of operation by the strict adherence of EMP. To initiate the environmental monitoring as per the approved schedule. Also, they have to responsible for planning and scheduling environmental conservation and protection activity, and they are also responsible to improve the working environment for the employees or workers under the OHS, to make budgetary provision and allocate fund for the environment management system, and to ensure timely revision of budgetary provision, to encourage and inspire employee and contractor for highest performance, and also maintain documentation of good environmental practices and applicable environmental laws. And they are also responsible for maintaining the environment related record, coordination with the regulatory agency, external consultant, monitoring laboratory, maintaining logbooks of public complaint, and whatever the action taken. These are the major responsibility, but you can fix as per the requirement. Here is one sample budget for EMP. EMP is the environmental management plan. EMPG is environmental monitoring program. So, if your industry is in existing and going for expansion, then you have to provide existing expansion are proposed, then total, and then recurring also. If it is new, then you have to provide only one cost, and recurring cost is there. For monitoring agency, first in case of EMP, pollution control in terms of air, water, soil, noise, whatever it is applicable. Then occupational health and safety, then soil hazardous waste disposal and management, green belt development and maintenance, online monitoring system, rainwater harvesting, etc. You can put as per the applicability. Then you can go for the environmental monitoring program like air, water, soil, noise monitoring, ecological change detection and monitoring, green belt plantation, CER, ESC, occupational health, etc. In term of capital cost and recurring cost, you have to provide in this same way. So some practices should be followed like resource conservation, finding substitute of widely used mineral, adaptation, environmental friendly technology, afforestation. Government should not permit mining operation in ecological sensitive area. We should follow the rules, regulations, abide by the ministries, all these things. So these things about environmental management plan in mining industry. Now we'll see some sort of things about environmental EIA and EMP and presentation, like how presentation to be made. First, you can see here minutes of meeting from the category B and SEAC level, state level expert appraisal committee, like category B1 and B2. So here you can see some minutes of that meeting after appraising your project. Like here you can see this is one project in Gujarat area. So these are the minutes, and under the minutes you can see they need some proof also. So for means mining in the river by using pipeline, here you can see the field photograph of the lease area. So they are providing the pipeline. This is pipeline for carrying the this mineral sand mineral from the river. These are type. Okay. And this type of minutes are there, like what discussion has been done in the meeting. If CRZ is applicable in case of coastal area, in this case you can see CRZ map is there. So if CRZ applicable, then CRZ map is required to prepare here. Otherwise, in case of CRZ is not applicable, then you can go directly. And recommendation is there or not. So here you can see non-sand mining without blasting. This is non-sand mining and there is no blasting. So they have recommended to SIA, a project approved by SIA, and these specific conditions are there. PP shall carry out entire plantation. Validity of EC shall be as per the Parvana work. PP means lease from the department. PP shall carry out entire plantation for the first year. This was I think repeated. First and third is the same one. PP shall construct a Pakka approach road. PP shall implement the major proposed EMP in EMP, and we shall pursue the CR activity. No groundwater extraction shall be done. Pillars mentioning boundary, the lease area shall be provided. Transportation route for vehicle carrying minerals shall be have least minimum pass near the human habitat. Dust mitigation measures due to mining, handling of mineral loading, unloading, transportation, and other allied activities shall be implemented. And OM is there. People shall, after ceasing mining operation, undertake degrassing of the mining area. So this type of condition are coming in under the AC condition. So this is the 1 minute, one format. We can say 1 minutes of meeting from the CA. Here the format of undertaking by the proponent that they are going for mining. And now you can see this means Google Earth image is also required. So we have to plot on the Google Earth image. Here this is the lease boundary of one project. This is limestone mining. Here you can see this is the all rocky area, and this is Cope mine, name is in there already. And this is the 10-kilometer radius circle on this, and this is in near Jam Khambalia, Jamnagar. This is the Jamnagar, and this is the Gulf of Kutch, coastal area, Porbandar. So this is one requirement. Another one is you can see EMP, Environmental Management Plan in EIA. This is EIA for limestone mining of 58 hectare, more than 50 hectare. Now it is in B category B. So the major objective of EMP is conservation of environment, minimization of waste generation and pollution, proper use of natural resource and water, safety, welfare, and good health of the workforce and population, ensure effective operation for all control measures and monitoring of cumulative and long-term impact. So first, air quality management. We have to provide the control of fugitive emission, like PP should be provided, regular water sprinkling on the haul road loading point will be carried out, development of green belt, ambient quality monitoring should be done. Then prevention and control of gases pollution like PM SOx, NOx. So we are using without because there is no drilling. They are using surface miner, roper type, dozer ripers, etc. So then noise pollution. For noise pollution, proper maintenance, oiling, greasing of the machinery, adequate silencer will be provided. Blast hole will not be, because this is not this is not having blasting. Plantation along the side of approach road, PPE will be provided, and periodical noise level monitoring will be done. Okay, monitoring is most important for every time, means air, water, soil, noise. For conservation of water, they are going for 12 KLD water from the nearby source, nearby panchayat area only. So they are not going to withdraw the groundwater. And there is water mining working is 4 meter only. They are not going to intersect the water table, because water table is from 12 to 20 meter, and they are working up to 4 meter only. In case of waste management, how much waste overburden is there? So here you can see there is no waste generation in the limestone. Means everything is mineral, and this mineral is usable. If it is, then you have to provide for backfilling, storage, blending, etc. So you have to provide in that way. Selection of dumping site means wherever you are going to dump the overburden, then you have to provide. Here in this case there is no dumping because there is no overburden. Then green belt plantation, like how much area you have already developed. So this is year wise plantation has been provided. And with the area, biological measures, green belt development plan. This is the future plan. This was the plan and this is the future plan, means this type of plant to be planted with the height. Some suggestive measures under EMP, like disturbance of fauna for EMP for the general project, like for the laborers activity, for generation of solid waste, risk assessment for earth movement, and on-site activity like excavation of mineral ore, limestone is there. Then environmental policy, budget for environmental protection like under EMP, under budget for CSR, CER, etc. Then conclusion. So in this way, we have to provide this EMP in the EI report. Now you have to see here one presentation of EC presentation. We can say environment clearance presentation. I will go to directly on that area where EMP has been discussed, right? So this is the same project for which we have seen the EI EMP under chapter 10. This was for limestone mining. Okay, so this is an Gop village, Jamnagar district, Gujarat state. These are the project coordinates. What we have seen. This is the 10-kilometer radius land use map area and CER budget. So for this environment clearance, we need to follow the term of references. Whatever the term of references has been given, we have to reply in that manner only, one by one. Means the tar is the actually questionnaire. There is some questions, more than 50, about 56 questions are there. We have to reply one by one in the same way. Like you can see drainage map, tar points should be clearly stated whether proponent company has well laid down environmental policy. So they have environment policy, so they have written here the environmental policy. So this is the sample copy for environmental clearance presentation. Air result, water result, soil, noise, surface water quality, groundwater quality, ground level concentration for air, water requirement, etc. We traffic impact assessment, traffic scenario, level of service of that road, and some plant to be planted. The survey they have done. Biological environment. This is the key impact assessment, quantification of impact, magnitude of impact. In this case, public hearing was exempted because they have already done public hearing in the previous time. This is again total cost for EMP, right? Pollution dust control, dust separation, pollution monitoring, air, water, soil, noise, replantation, reclamation of mined out area, irrigation purposes, occupational health, DMP. That's all. So this is all about this EMP. We have different books also. You can download from the Google Books, etc. We have different training sessions in different area, like environment clearance, forest clearance, CRZ clearance, wildlife clearance, instrumentation, uh, basics of ecology biodiversity, 3 days in ecology biodiversity, climate change, environmental sustainability, process of CTEs, NOC, CCA, ABC in EIA. This is only one rupees 100. Validation, violation of environmental laws, validation of data in EIA, process of groundwater, permission from CGWA, impact assessment technologies, OCEMS, carbon footprint, advances in wastewater treatment technologies, life cycle assessment, traffic impact assessment, vibration impact assessment, baseline data collection, land use, GIS, QGIS, environmental audit, noise pollution mapping, basics of EIA, understanding of various act in area, CRZ wildlife clearance, soil quality, soil conservation, air quality modeling using ARMOD software, solid hazardous waste, biomedical waste, many more things. More than 70, 80 training sessions are there for EIA domain and some other domains. So one can easily opt, and many times we are conducting online session, many times we are conducting live session. So thank you very much. If you have any question, then you can ask us over WhatsApp number we have already provided. Also, you can go to the website. You can write on email address account.info@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for being here.